Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the YouTube world, CJ Rose is back in the building. Welcome back to the channel. Word is bond, love is love. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the above. And if you ain't doing anything today, follow my Instagram, RugerRose23 is the place to be. Okay. So, All Elite Wrestling All Out was last night. And as of right now, it is 4 o'clock in the morning as I'm recording this. Yes, I said 4 o'clock in the morning. I was watching All Out. I fell asleep, woke up at about 1 in the morning, just finished watching it, and here I am. Okay. So let's get into it. It was well, let's just get into it. Let's just talk about it. So as y'all should know, I was watching the 0 Hour as I was doing my review for Worlds Collide, so obviously I didn't see much of anything. But I do know that Ty Mello and Sammy Guevara retained their AAA Mixed Tag Team Championships against Ortiz and Ruby Soho. I know Pac retained against Kip Sabian, and after that, Orange Cassidy confronted Pac, so they'll probably have a match soon. But I know Death Triangle faces the Best Friends this Wednesday, and Eddie Kingston beat Ishii. I don't know how any of the matches went. I'll probably watch those later. I actually should have watched those before I did this, but it's just too much right now. It's 4 in the morning, bro. I'm not trying to cram my brain with all that type of info right now. It's bad enough I got the pay-per-view in my head, so I ain't trying to add more to it. Okay. So, the pay-per-view. Let's get into that. So, the casino ladder match actually kicked off the night. Who was in it was Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, the Lucha Bros, Rush, Andrade El Igolo, Mr. Tranquilo, Dante Martin, and we had a Joker. So I think the question was, who's going to be the Joker? Is it going to be somebody debuting, or is it going to be somebody returning? So only time would tell. So the match pretty much was going on for, how many minutes we're talking? Maybe 10 minutes? Maybe it was going on for maybe 10 minutes. Probably longer than that. So I say 12, 13 minutes. Until we had, what, 5 guys in black, all black, to start attacking the 7 people in the match. I said 7. It was 7 people. Okay, I was trying to make sure my math was right. So they were attacking all the 7 people. And then this other guy who was dressed in all black brought the ladder, climbed up, and grabbed the big poker chip. Took off his mask. It was Stoey halfway. And then the rest of the guys, it was W. Morrissey, it was Lee Moriarty, it was the Gun Club, and it was Ethan Page. So these are all the guys that Stoney Hathaway was recruiting. So now, here comes the Joker. Now, the music that was playing, I actually found out on Twitter. It was the Rolling Stones Symphony for the Devil. So, I didn't know what that was. It sounded catchy. By the way, it sounded catchy. It's the Rolling Stones, one of the greatest rock bands of all time. But, here comes the Joker, masked, all black with a mask on. Now, the crowd didn't know who this was. Couldn't really tell. So it was just quiet. Like, it was quiet. Everybody's trying to figure out, damn, who is this? Who can this be? And then Stoney Hathaway gives the chip to him. Boom. He wins the match. So after that, he was about to reveal himself. Then he said, "Nah, not doing it here." So the crowd was pretty much quiet for this for that moment, because nobody really knew who this was or anything. And of course, there was a lot of speculation on Twitter. You could just see it. You can just see it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, their opinions. Me, I just sat there like, I guess we'll find out on Dynamite. I thought on Dynamite we were going to find out, but we actually found out in the main event, which we'll get to. But the Casino Ladder match was pretty much for what it was. And we'll just move on from there. The match coming up next was the Elite, Young Bucks and Kenny Omega versus the Dark Order, Stu Grayson, John Silver, and Hangman Adam Page. Kenny Omega comes out, no compression shirt, pretty much no restrictions. So in this match, he looked 100%, and he looked a little jacked. My man looking a little swole out here. Like my man been lifting. I'm with it. man looking real swole. So this match pretty much was the showcase for Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Because the last time Kenny Omega was on pay-per-view, it was against Hangman Adam Page. And that's when Page beat Omega for the AEW World title. And every time those two were in the ring, crowd was going crazy. Every single time. Like, the crowd was going nuts. They were wilding out. This match was damn good. This was a damn good trios match. I loved it. There was a story in it. It was all beautiful. Now, how the match ended wasn't something I was really expecting. I thought at least the one-winged angel would win this match. Instead, you're going Hangman Page about to hit the buckshot lariat and John Silver's holding Kenny. Page going for the buckshot lariat, hits John Silver. The Bucks, I think it was Nick Jackson holds Page. Kenny Omega goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Game over. The Elite are the new AEW Trios champions. Cool. And then you just saw the visual of Page. Page at the entranceway and just looking like he looks disappointed because he knows he lost the match for the team. So will we circle back that again? Only time will tell. But I love to see a Hangman. I love to see a Page Omega 3. I love to see it because they are 1-1 technically. Last year at All Out they faced for the title. Kenny Omega won that. And of course Full Gear last year. Yeah, Full Gear last year. Page beat Omega. There should be a 3 coming. I'd like to see Hangman versus Kenny 3. Let's make it happen. I'm just saying. Next up was Jade Cargill versus Athena for the TBS title. No Stoey Hathaway in the corner of Jade, who was cosplaying She-Hulk. And she cosplayed her very well because Jade was exceptionally physical in this match. So I guess in that sense, she played the character very well. But Jade got the win after Athena springboard off the ropes, landed right into a pump kick. Jade picked her up, hit the Jaded, 1, 2, 3. Jade Cargill retains and is now 37-0. 37-0. So now I'm gonna ask the question, like I always ask when it comes. Well, now I'm gonna ask the question for Jade. Now, like I'm asking for Roman Reigns here. Who the hell's gonna beat them for the title now? Like, I'm so curious. It's not even a joke, bro. Like, who is gonna beat Jade Cargill for the TBS title? She's faced damn near everybody. Everybody. She's beating everybody. Curious who AEW will put in that spot. But we'll see as time goes on. All right. Next up, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Wardlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns. I believe that was the next match. Yes, it was. Before the match started, Dax brought out his daughter because, on on Rampage, Sanjay, and we'll talk about Sanjay in a minute. Sanjay talked about, he told Dax, I hope you can fight just as hard as your 8-year-old daughter. And when I tell you Dax was about to beat the hell, yo, I can't forget that, bro. Dax looked like he about to really beat the holy hell out this man on Gang, bro. He looked like he about to beat the hell out of him. But Dax brought out his daughter. Name's Finley. Interesting name for a daughter, but hey, she's cute moment, good moment, and everything. Hugged Wardlow like they known each other for centuries, but it is what it is. And then Sanjay Dutt came out there with the shirt, with the same shirt, with the quote he said on Rampage. So already he was trolling. The match was good. Match was all right. You saw a preview of FTR versus Motor City Machine Guns. Maybe that is a match that we do in the future. I wouldn't mind it. FTR wants to beat every tag team before they go after the tag team titles, which I don't blame. And, it is what it is. They are the number 1 ranked tag team, so, hell, you want to beat every tag team on your way, do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. You know what I mean? So pretty much this match ended with Wardlow doing the Powerbomb Symphony on Jay Lethal. Yeah, on Jay Lethal. And they get the W. And then you see Mostly Machine Guns, Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satman Singh all about to attack, FTR and Wardlow. They got the advantage. Until you hear a familiar theme. And it was the ROH television champion, Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is back. We haven't seen Samoa Joe since Death Before Dishonor when he defended his title against Jay Lethal. So now, he's back full-time, which is great. I need Samoa Joe on my television screen. You know what I'm saying? Samoa Joe, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? And then he helped FTR and Wardlow overcome the odds. Then here comes Finley, Dax's daughter. And she played off. She was in the ring, and they were beating up on Sanjay Dutt. Finley put her foot on Sanjay, and the ref was there, literally a ref was there, counted 1, 2, 3. That was a heartwarming moment. I fucked with that. Dax looking like a proud father. You love to see it, man. Dax Harwood, Father of the Year. Yeah, I don't care. That's my man right there. Dax Harwood, Father of the Year. You love to see it. All right. Next match, I believe, was it Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs next? I believe that was the match next. Because I wasn't sure. I think it was Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ricky Starks. I think that was the next match. So that match came on. That match was a little shorter than I thought it would be. That match, I think, was about 6 or 7 minutes. That was a shorter match than I thought it would be. Because Ricky Starks came out the gate, hitting Powerhouse, trying to give him, all that he can. And this match literally ended with a spine buster. Literally, I did not think it would end that way. Because Ricky Starks was, ricocheting off the ropes like he was going to go for that spear. But Powerhouse caught him. Boom, double A spine buster. 1, 2, 3. That was it. I was like, wow. That was fast. I didn't expect that match to go the way it did, but it did. Boom, Powerhouse Hobbs, he wins. Cleanly. No shenanigans, no nothing. It was just straight like that, you know what I'm saying? I was like, wow. Okay. I did not know what to say. All right, next matchup was Swerve in Our Glory versus The Acclaimed. Let me tell you something. Swerve in Our Glory played the heels. They pretty much did. But they didn't do what Chris Jericho and John Moxley did. We're going to talk about what Jericho and Moxley did. Even though Jericho wasn't really that big of a deal. Moxley's, however, was. But we'll get to that. But Swerve and Keith Lee pretty much played the heels in this because the fans were not with them. They were all with the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed got probably the biggest pops of the night. One of the biggest pops of the night because Chicago was all over. They loved the Acclaimed. But they did have a lot to prove. Could they become tag team champions? Let me be honest with you. If they did, if they won tonight, I wouldn't have been mad. Because it was just, boy, the crowd loved them, bro. Like, listen, Keith Lee and Swerve came out to a good ovation, but it's like when the Acclaim came out, forget them. Forget Swerve and Keith Lee. Like, you had the crowd chanting, "We want scissors," like, which is weird. And they were calling Billy Gunn Daddy Ass. I guess that's his name now, Daddy Ass, which is just I don't know anymore, bro. I don't know. Yeah, so that happened. Now something Swerve said on Rampage. He told Anthony Bowens. He said, excuse me, he said, you keep letting your partner down because your body is too fragile, right? And that story came to light because as Anthony Bowens and Swerve were in the ring, Bowens like he was going for something off the second rope. He slips off the second rope and falls down, and boom, his leg becomes a problem. So now he's hurt. And now, the ref was asking him, are you, talk to me, are you good? And you got Billy Gunn on the outside talking, he's good, he's fine. And Anthony Bowens didn't quit, man. This was probably the best match the Acclaim ever had. Had to be. Because that man didn't quit. He was hit. So I was like, oh, man. I was like, hey, do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? They didn't quit. I thought they almost won at one point because Matt Caster hit the elbow drop from the top rope. Boom. And I swear to you, they won. But Keith Lee, just the last second got him. But Swerve and Lee hit their tag team maneuver. 1, 2, 3. They retain. I agree with JD. That was a missed opportunity to get the Acclaim the tag team titles. I wasn't even mad at it. Now, and I'm talking a long time about this match. It's crazy. But I think Swerve and Lee are going to implode at some point. Because in this match as well, they had 2 accidents. And both of them were on one another. Like, Swerve hit Lee, and then Lee hit Swerve. So I think that's going to come into play. And then while Keith Lee was dapping up the Acclaim, Swerve was like, nah, I'm not with it. So I feel like those problems are going to keep coming up for Swerve and Our Glory. That's just how I'm seeing it. Like, I feel like there's a story building up with that. But we'll deal with that. We'll get to that when we get to it. You know what I'm saying? I believe the next matchup was for the AEW Women's title, Fatal 4-Way. We had Toni Storm, we had Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Shida. Toni Storm won, which is what you thought would happen. I figured it would happen too. All right, so Toni Storm is the interim AEW Women's Champion. She's not the AEW Women's Champion because AEW just likes having these interim championships. Like, it's like, okay, you can hold it for a while, because clearly we don't want to do the whole since you can't defend the title for 30 days, we'll just make you interim. You can be champion when you come back. I don't know why that bothers me, but it does, bro. It really does bother me. I mean, granted, they're never out for a year or anything, like 7-8 months, not out for that long, but I don't know. These are weird injuries that AEW gets. But listen, it is what it is. Toni Storm is the champion. That's what she came to AEW for, to be the best. She's the best right now, so hey, congratulations to her. Next up was Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Christian Cage. And this match right here, I didn't expect all this. So Christian Cage comes out. He actually goes over here because over here is Jack's sister and his mother. And he's just talking. he told Jack Perry, he told Perry's mom, "Why haven't you called me?" Like, yo, he said, "I've been waiting for your call. Why haven't you called me?" Like, and then she smacks him, boom, right there. And he's like, all right, cool. Just brushes it off. Then here comes Jungle Boy. So before he even walks down the ramp, he turns around and he's looking in the tunnel to figure out where's Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus walks up behind him and gives him a choke slam. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I felt that was random. Like, there should have been some type of story built with that. I'm sorry. Because when Christian Cage took out Jungle Boy, Christian Cage, talked to Luchasaurus trying to get into his head. And somehow that worked. But then when Jungle Boy came back, Luchasaurus went back to Jungle Boy. So now Luchasaurus is back with Christian. That's the flip-flop is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. But listen, it is what it is. I guess it's part of the story. So I was saying Luchasaurus choke slams Jungle Boy onto the metal, onto the steel grating right there. Then moves the doctors because the doctors were right there trying to ask Jungle Boy, "Are you good? Are you ready to go?" Pushed them away. Carried Jungle Boy. Carried him all the way to ringside. And then he chokeslammed him through a table. So boom. Jungle Boy at this point in time, he ain't right now. He ain't good. And the ref was telling him, Are you good? Are you good? And he's like, "Ring the bell." So the minute ref rings the bell, boom, Christian hits a spear. 1, 2, Jungle Boy kicks out. So then Christian picks up Jungle Boy. Boom. The Empire. 1, 2, 3. Christian beats Jungle Boy. Okay. I kind of had Jungle Boy winning, but if this is the way to continue this story, by all means, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Next matchup, I think it was Bryan Danielson versus Jericho. I think that's actually was the next match. Yeah, Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho was the next match. Lionheart, Chris Jericho versus the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. This is to see who is the better wrestler out of the two. And this match, I'm glad I was looking forward to it. It's a damn good match. This was a good match as well. Definitely wrestling, submission holds, all that. Now Daniel Garcia was in the back watching this on the monitor. Now, I thought they were going to utilize Daniel Garcia here. I thought, because I said in my prediction video, I said I think Jericho's going to do something or have like a chair or something, try to hit Bryan Danielson, and Daniel Garcia comes out and just takes a chair. Well, they did that before. But, I thought Jericho would probably use the same way. And then Daniel Garcia comes out and he stops Jericho. Crowd's going crazy about it. And then Daniel turns his back, boom, turns his back on Bryan Danielson and hits him. And then, boom, that's how Jericho wins. Instead, Jericho gets the low blow, Judas effect, and Jericho wins like that. I was not expecting a win. I didn't expect Jericho to even win with the Judas effect. I was like, oh, wow, he won like that. Okay, cool. So Jericho does win. And he did win in a dirty way. So I'm like, okay, cool. All right. Let's see. And of course after that it was a whole thing with Jericho and Dan Garcia. But that's another different thing. Then the next match we had is the trios match between the House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews against the unlikely pair, as they pretty much said it, of Miro, Darby Allin, and Sting. Well, this match went 12 minutes, so pretty good action from both sides. Now, here's the thing, right? The House of Black lost. They lost, which I think was not the best decision, because I think the House of Black should have won this. Because the House of Black is 6-1. Now, only loss was in the trios tournament to, I think, Death Triangle, right? I think Death Triangle won that one. Yeah, Death Triangle beat House of Black. So now it's like, I don't know. And apparently, after the match, and I guess after the cameras weren't even on Malachi, he got up, he kissed the Chicago crowd goodbye and gave a bow, and then just left. That's kind of pretty much saying, I'm done here. Like I'm done, I want to leave. And, now I'm kind of like, I don't know. Again, Malachi was in the news literally last week, because apparently it seems like he asked for his release, but he wasn't granted it. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. So I guess we'll see as time goes on with that. We'll figure out what's going on. And now all this leads up to the main event. The match everybody was waiting for. CM Punk, Jon Moxley 2 for the AEW World title. I thought Punk would play heel here. I thought Punk would be the heel, but then again, we're in Chicago, so Punk will never be the heel in Chicago. Never be the heel. Jon Moxley, however, gave no fucks. Like, Jon Moxley didn't give a damn. That man would, when I tell you, Moxley didn't care. Moxley came out the gate flipping off the crowd, flipping them off. Like, there was a dude with a CM Punk shirt in front of him. He flipped them off. Like, he kept flipping off this crowd. He kept flipping off Punk. I'm like, damn, bro. But Moxley don't care. Like, we know Moxley don't care. So it doesn't mean, oh, Moxley's going to get a heel turn. No. Moxley doesn't care, but we know that. The match, however, definitely different than the one 2 weeks ago. I can tell you that. Definitely different than the one 2 weeks ago. So Moxley said that Punk would endure violence and brutality that he's never endured before. Yeah. Moxley was right. Well, maybe not. Because I wouldn't say Moxley gave him violence and brutality that he's never seen. But he did open that man up. Punk was bleeding. And I find it so ironic because Punk said, I think almost a month ago, he told Moxley, I would fight you, but you might bleed all over me. And the irony is, Punk was the one bleeding on Moxley. So it's like, boy, kind of crazy. But CM Punk did win. I think I screwed up that ending, didn't I? I didn't mean to even say that yet, but yeah, I'd say it to you. CM Punk won. CM Punk is once again the AEW World Champion. Now, something was telling me that Punk would win, but I thought he would win in a heelish manner, where it was like the ref was distracted, the ref has his back turned, Punk hits a low blow, the GTS go to sleep, 1, 2, 3, boom, like that. It didn't even go like that. It was like this, right? So Punk kept trying to go for the GTS. Moxley kept countering it. Then it wasn't until Punk actually got the GTS. Boom, he hits it. Punk's on his knees. Moxley's just laid on him. Moxley's just knocked out, laid on Punk. Just knocked out. Punk didn't do anything for like a minute. Picked him up again. Boom, another GTS. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk is once again the AEW World Champion. I'm not a fan of the belt going back and forth. I'm not a fan of that, but I don't know. So honestly, something had to happen here, because it was just like, nah, something's got to happen. Then everything goes black. Everything is dark. Then you hear Tony Khan, and he's talking. It sounds like he's talking to somebody on the phone. And he was pretty much saying, I'm not going to be able to give you the extension. I'm not going to be able to do this for you. All I can do is this and that, give you a XXX amount of money. All you need to do is just come to All Out. I'll put you in the casino ladder match. But all you got to do is just come to All Out. I can't do for you what I want. I can't do what you want. But I can try my best. That's pretty much what he was saying. Then it shows a clip of Punk in ROH. And he said a line in there. He said the devil. He said, there's something about something along these lines. He said, there's something about the devil, and the devil is he does a good job of making you think that he doesn't exist, right? Then it goes black again. Then it shows the masked man that won the casino ladder match earlier tonight. Then turns around, unmasks himself, and we see the back of his head. Now, you look at it like, okay, we know who the hell this is. And then he says, yes, I am the devil. Puts on the signature scarf. Crowd's going crazy at this point in time. Crowd's going crazy. Goes dark again. Then the music plays and the crowd is losing their shit. The crowd is going, this is the loudest pop of the night. This pop is louder than when CM Punk came out and when CM Punk won the world title. This is louder than that. That's crazy. And who is coming out? Maxwell Jacob Freeman. MJF is back. MJF was behind the mask, which means he is next in line for a world title match. Things are about to get interesting. And MJF, I thought MJF was going to say something, but nah, he was just standing on the top of the ramp. Then he symboled, that belt is coming home with me. And Punk's just telling him, bring it. And that's how All Out ends. Just like that. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't think this was the best AEW pay-per-view, but it was pretty good. Still a good night, great night. They got MJF back. We'll see what happens. We got Dynamite coming up on Wednesday. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, so but until then, it's been Rose, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all love support. As always, it is late. I am fully up, so I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do. But we got a big week this week. Big week. NBA 2K23 comes out this week. So you already know I'm about to go to work on that. About to say salute to NBA 2K22. That's about it, man. So be on the lookout for those videos. You already know how we do. So until next time, peace, love, 100. Yeah.